Anywho, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Cheese Talk podcast. I'm your host, Brian, and tonight I am joined by Mr. First Down.
How we doing
What is
today?
up?
Oh,
doing?
just choking away the season like my Titans are. Good thing I've got my Chinese food here I can rage eat. Nom, 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 nom.
Comfort food?
Yeah. Give me Chinese and it better have egg rolls in it for the love of God. Oh,
Well, luckily for me, my team didn't win nor lose today, so that's a good thing.
yeah. No, it's cool. What a thing we're seeing from Jordan Love, man. What a fun thing. He's like this mixture of Favre and I don't know what the other mixture is, but Favre is definitely
Rodgers.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, to some degree, he's just a little more likable. I think he's not plywood personality. I would say.
Yeah, as you probably know, I went to the game on Thursday, Thanksgiving night game,
Woo-hoo.
and I told my wife, I said, we are staying after, and I'm going to get pictures of Jordan Love getting his turkey leg. And his whole team came down, and yeah, it was awesome how they stand behind him, and they all follow suit, and I think they all kind of they play for him. You know what I'm saying? They all play for each other. They don't feel singled out by certain quarterbacks that they've had in the past.
Yep. If you're wondering how the Sunday night game is going, the Bills are just ran a big one with James Cook for a touchdown. So in the snow, which everybody is so crazy about. It's so funny.
Right.
This game needs Jameis Winston energy. God's letting me play this game. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Eating a W, whatever he does with it.
Yeah.
So, what's going on with your Tennessee Titans, man?
Boy, oh boy. I don't know, but somebody wants you to buy them an Xbox in the comics section. I have a feeling it's your child.
No, could you imagine if they would have promoted Matt LaFleur as head coach of the Titans?
Yeah.
Malik Willis.
Well, let's be clear here. The Packers took him, and everyone was shocked. It was a weird thing that he was taken. But hey, they made the right decision. Vrabel was the guy, and I like Vrabel. And as of this moment, in the year of our Lord 2024, is it December 1st yet? Yeah, December 1st.
Yep.
In the year of our Lord, that it is a bad decision to fire Mike Vrabel until Brian Callahan shows he is the guy to do it. Now, granted, I'm a little more patient because I know that some guy's going to come into an organization that's had it a certain way for 6 years. That there's not going to be a quick turnaround. You're going from a running offense to a passing offense, and I just don't think that's going to happen. You're going to have to get Finn an Xbox, man. Come on.
Dude, okay, so can I buy him an Xbox? I only have $55. I have 55 kids.
You'll get your bundle of Tootsie Rolls and like it. You hear me?
No, I actually only have 5 kids, so but still, it feels
well,
like
that's
55
2 fives in a row. It's an easy mistake to make. I get it.
Yeah, like you said before it went on, it's what? Oh, here we go. Buddy Dustin, Badgers could listen to this guy. Yeah, Wisconsin, man, they lost today. They lost Leon Laurie, a transfer defensive tackle, and they lost 4 cornerback.
I don't know what's going on. I think your internet's getting kind of funny.
This year with the
There we go. There you are.
You still?
Hey.
Oh yeah, it might be. Yeah. But I was just saying that Wisconsin lost a couple of good players to the transfer portal. But I'll look at it this way: when the tough gets going, they stick around. They don't leave for greener pastures. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean
It's like,
that's unfortunately the college football landscape now. It's become
yeah,
NFL light. Contracts are involved, big money's involved, and if they really want to save college football, they're going to have to do something. I personally, uh, sorry, he's asking me for any spare change for an Xbox. Hey, I have mine, and I'm never giving it up. You hear me? It's mine. but, um, uh, but like they're going to have to do something around college football if you want any of that feeling left, any of that loyalty in college football. And now you've got all these contracts involved. I say you just make it a flat rate across for everybody. Everybody
like
gets,
a salary cap.
yeah, everybody gets like a $5 million. Every player, I don't care how famous you are, I don't care if you're the lifeblood of the college football career. Everybody gets 5 million, but you watch, they're going to make these contracts say you can't transfer out, and that's going to be that's what's going to start all the insanity.
I
It's
think
really,
I think it should be for more than just. I mean, it should be one flat rate for
I
every
agree.
student every student athlete.
I agree. I totally agree.
Women's softball, women's
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
basketball.
yeah. Do it. Why not? I don't
Yeah,
see the problem is it's not it's you have so much money that these universities are making, not even off the state alone from merchandising for NIL deals and whatever else, that you like to not pay them. Badgers can listen. I don't what listen to you or me. I don't know, but it's ridiculous, and you could totally reach a flat rate that could make everyone happy, and we move on with our lives. But they won't do it. They want to. Texas, for one, who has a bunch of oil barons as their financial backers. Well, what's going to stop them from just buying everybody? What's going to stop them? Nothing.
right. It's like the Yankees.
Yeah, exactly. It's the Yankees. It's the kid in dodgeball, that's left for my poor Cleveland Guardians, while the Yankees just take everything.
Come on, Raj, speak up on your Yankees. Let's go.
He's
Yeah,
going.
no, it's just it's a mess.
Mhm.
You know,
It is. It's sad too. We've lost it. We've lost something.
it's like
It's
what a full scholarship and free room and board isn't good enough.
nope. Three
You know,
square meals a day too. Now I remember that.
well, whenever you want, you can go to the training facilities and
Hmm. Get some
even
food.
like the Packers, you could live in their freaking locker room for your whole life. You know what I'm saying? They have every team has everything available to them within their stadium confines.
Dustin, Dustin in the comments said you can't do that. You have to value talent. I am valuing talent. Uh, I'm also trying to value what's great about college football. So if we're going to look at it through an NFL lens, I don't think you should. Is my point. College football is something different altogether. I'm sorry, your points might be valid, but I can't take anyone wearing Titans gear seriously. That's fair.
Yes, True North, welcome.
Um, listen, bud, I have been in that stadium for 13 years, and I can honestly say, without a shadow of a doubt, I've seen worse.
Yeah,
I was there. What was the? I was there, Gandalf. I was there 3,000 years ago. So, um,
yeah,
to answer your earlier question, it's a rebuilding year. That's just all it is. And there's going to be changeover next year from coaches to new players on the team. And I'm not really. Everybody's kind of making a big deal. But right now, we just need to see if Will Levis is the guy. And right now, I have 4 solid games with Will Levis, so I'll take it. I'll take it.
yeah.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on the overall picture in the AFC right now? We've seen the Chiefs win some things to the Zebras,
Dubious,
and
dubious by dubious means. Patrick Mahomes is Lex Luthor and the was the Council of Doom or whatever they're called. They, I mean, they have gotten extremely. How many years does a rebuild take? Depends. It could be 5 years or it can be 3. Sometimes 2. Um, but I
look
just
at the
got
Packers. They didn't even have a full year for their rebuild,
yeah. I
and they
mean,
were in the playoffs last year.
it just kind of happens. Right now, with the cap situation, everything the Titans had, they just did what they could, and then next year they'll try to do something else. I mean, that's just how it works. I'm just never, to be clear, I'm never for firing a coach in 1 year. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair to anybody. So let Callahan see his vision. Does this season stink? It certainly does. But right now, you got to keep your eye on the prize, and that's seeing if Willie Mayo Man Levis is the guy, and that's just what it comes down to.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Bears. I mean, they've been through how many head coaches?
They should have fired Eberflus last year. I don't know what they're doing.
It's not even that. It's like, at what point do you like just do a full clean house? I mean, who's developing who's Packers rebuild is 2 months. These comments are crazy. So anyway, it's like I always said, like the Bears, they got rid of Fields before or whatever, and why don't you fire the positional coaches? You know what I'm saying? I mean, Caleb Williams, he's broken rookie records, but the rookie records weren't too impressive for the Bears. You know what I'm saying?
They certainly weren't. They certainly weren't. It's just the Bears sometimes are stuck in the muck. God bless her. I don't like talking bad about senior citizens, but the owner there, McCloskey, McClaskey, yeah, she was about hiring the GM, hiring the coach, and then the GM and stuff, and that's just not how business is done. And they just need. I'm not saying for her to die or anything, but they need a dire change. They need a dire change in how it is managed, is what they need to do. So that's they need a complete. I mean, nuke it from top to bottom, especially after I keep seeing Ryan Pace, the GM, saying things like the first thing first, we win the division sound clip that we keep seeing.
Then I posted that not that long ago on Twitter, like we're gonna win the North or something like that, or take over the North, or
yeah,
that's called like karma immediately, immediate karma.
And let's be clear here, it's semi unprofessional. You don't go up there and start slinging, like you're you just got here, dude. Like, come on. Yeah.
Especially when the Packers have won 12 straight, 11 straight,
12 straight, yeah, 12 straight. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm now I watched that game just to see if the Bears can actually do something, and they can't. They can't. The true North Packers fan, the Jet situation went from funny to sad, like Broncos level of sad. Yeah, no, it's another thing, right? And now reports are that Aaron Rodgers is going to be out again this year. The whole time, I don't know about you, but for me and a lot of others in the chat that we're in, we're talking about 4 years that all that team needed was a quarterback, and they went and got Aaron Rodgers. So I was thinking, like, okay, it's time to go. You have the defense. You have the weapons on offense. And what have they got to show for it? Nothing.
Well, you brought in an old squirrely veteran with a bunch of young people who probably clashed with their egos. Yeah. And you saw it in training camp footage where Garrett Wilson and Rodgers are getting in the verbal altercations. I mean, it's a rift, The young guys feel attacked by the old guy, and they don't like that.
And then you have your coach who was just never the guy. He was never the guy. Saleh was never him.
So the funny thing is, when Saleh left the Jets and came to the Packers are what, 5-1?
5-1,
and the Jets are 1-4, now 1-5.
Yep.
So I mean, whatever.
I mean, it is what it is. I think he's a better DC than he is a head coach, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. They needed an owner and coach too. Woody Johnson, yeah, but. And then it's great now. Then you hear Woody Johnson crawl out of the sarcophagus he's been lying in and peel out. Not making fun of senior citizens, but I'm here now anyway. So here we are. He crawls out of the sarcophagus, like you can see the mummified hand reach over the sarcophagus, and he goes, "You know what? I don't like this Aaron Rodgers. I think we should bench him." And it's like, oh my gosh, you're paying this man so much money, and you're going to bench him. Unbelievable.
And then isn't he on for next year too? So if he didn't come back to the Jets next year, wouldn't they owe him that money too?
Oh yeah, it's something like $78 million or something. Like it's just It's like the Russell Wilson thing, right? Now, obviously, the Broncos have gotten better with Bo, but they're paying Russell Wilson upwards of 80 something $1 million. Just crazy, just not to play there. Make fun of them all you want. They're hilarious when they talk. Good. I like this.
So
Guy. He's a
this
fun fellow.
Dustin, he's a good guy. He was on my when I was a youth basketball. We went to school together. He was on my team. Him and his brother were on my team.
Was he the problem starter? Did you have to settle him down a couple of times?
No, not at all.
They had to settle you down, didn't you? You rambunctious one, you old muckety muck, you old.
Speaking of rambunctious ones, what are your thoughts on that hit today on Trevor Lawrence?
Okay, so Alshire was on our team last year, and there were rumblings around there, especially from Vrabel, which is kind of shocking because Vrabel's kind of a hard nosed guy, that he was too aggressive, and I wondered if that was one of the reasons they didn't re-sign him, was that they were just kind of looking at it and were like, "Hey, this guy has got a bit of a problem, whatnot." Now, that being said, he was always good with fans. He's always good with reporters or whatnot. Of course, I didn't see him talking to a reporter after the game today. That's probably a wise decision, but he got personal fouls when he played for us last year. He loved to run it. People pin his ears back and go, which is most of the time a quality you kind of want from a linebacker, but you got to be able to dial it back too. And I don't think he has a very good restraint when it comes to that.
See, I think I've been sorry, I'm making the logo bigger and smaller. Did you see that? The logo is getting bigger and smaller.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's coming for me.
Anyway, it's like I've been on this rant like the last probably month and a half on my podcast saying
did you shake your fist at the sky while you did it?
No, it's just these players that I started thinking after that hit Brian Branch had on Bo Melton against the Packers.
Yeah.
Helmet to helmet. Then he got kicked out of the game, and people are acting all shocked. It's like before they come to the NFL, they're in college. Mm-hmm. When you do that in college, you kicked off for targeting. So what would make the NFL keep you in the game for the same exact thing? I think the NFL, by the time you get to the NFL, if you haven't experienced a game where someone's gotten targeted and kicked out of a game, that's too bad. You should be kicked out of the game. You should be fined hefty. You should be kicked out for multiple games because in the long run, it's the person's health that's going to come back and bite the NFL in the ass. And they're going to be facing lawsuits. I mean, I just think it's classless,
It is. It is classless. It's an unfortunate part of it. And if they made the punishment so severe every time it happened, less and less times it would happen. I really
that's what I'm saying. But then you have like Brian Branch, who after he had that hit on Bo Melton against the Packers, they all go back to Detroit, and the secondary gets T-shirts made up of him walking off Lambeau going like that. It's like, then it's their culture in Detroit, and Dan Campbell's he should be fined too. Fine him.
What? Dan Campbell, the man that makes murder metaphors while giving speeches to his team?
No. So Dustin says make it a paycheck every time they do it. What I say is if the player that gets hit, if he's out for multiple games, they should be fined what game checks. For every game the player is out that he hits and hurts, they should lose game checks every time. So if I came and played against you and I hit you and you're out for 5 games, I should be fined 5 game checks.
Right.
And be suspended for however long you're out as well. That's the only fair punishment. Then these guys are going to start learning. At some point, I mean, the NFL is a multi-billion-dollar sport.
Maybe you could do it, though, like the first offense, you find 50% of the paycheck. Like you're out of the game and you lose 50%.
I do it. It's part of my language. I do the whole paycheck.
Just right out the gate.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yep.
Man.
And you want to know what? Even like what happened at the Michigan Ohio State game.
Oh,
Michigan tried to plant the flag.
Yeah. What a mess.
When there is physical altercations, why not take them off in handcuffs?
Yeah.
Why? I mean, think about it. That's workplace violence. If that were you or I, At our job,
Oh, we'd be
we'd
arrested.
lose our job. We'd
Yep.
get arrested. I mean, we'd face everything as a normal citizen. What makes these guys so special where they don't have to face punishment?
I'm not exactly sure. They were pepper spraying a bunch of them and whatnot. It got way out of control out there. Way out of
It
control.
did. And Ryan Day should be,
Oh, he'll be fine. There's no way he keeps his job now. No way. He can't.
he's probably going to be the next Bears coach.
Every time I see him with his goatee, I think Hans Gruber from what's it called? Die Hard. Ladies and
Yeah, well,
gentlemen.
every time you see his face and his whole beard line is like all like blotchy red. It's like
Yeah,
he must have just got pepper sprayed himself, you know?
he's like the Timu version of Hans Gruber, right? His beard is like, or Tony Stark from Iron Man.
No, but I mean, I think it should, it
Mhm.
should be an immediate fine, immediate suspension, and however long the person that you hurt is out, you should be out, and you should not be getting paid.
Yeah.
Because think of it, if say like a cop, like a police officer, or someone does something and they get on administrative leave, you know,
Hmm.
or on non-paid. I mean, it should. I don't know. Whatever. It's
Yeah. It's a
Goodell
mess.
gets paid. Goodell gets paid too much money to let this stuff go over his head.
The crazy thing about the NFL with all of their billions, they're all that's all I have, Dustin. I thought it was funny. Anyway, with all of their billions and all of their employees, you'd think they would have somebody that would be forward thinking enough to kind of look at these things. They don't have people like that. It's just like all of a sudden something happens, like the Ray Rice elevator situation with his wife, and everybody acts so shocked, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this has happened. Why are we so unprepared that we have to decide what kind of punishment we're going to give somebody? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's crazy to me. Absolutely crazy.
Well, look at Kareem Hunt. He's back on the Chiefs again, and
Right?
him in the hotel video or pictures of him or Joe Mixon. I mean,
Right. The
you can go
list
on
goes
and on.
on
But
and on and on, man. On and on and on.
anyway,
Unbelievable.
no, I what you're saying back about Jordan Love before, I like the best game is awesome. That the best game that I've seen the Packers play this year on both sides of the ball, excuse me, was this last Thursday. I actually got to see it in person, which is kind of cool. And just it was just like it was like magical at Lambeau. Like it was snowing, and just this to feel and like
Mhm.
instead of coming and making adjustments at halftime and playing a better second half, they actually played a better first half
Right.
and kind of came out slow the second half. But I think they're picking up pace right where they need to be, and um, I think they're going to be a contender in the NFC. What do you think?
I think the Packers will definitely be a contender in the UFC because Matt LaFleur is a very good coach. He has unlocked players' union is a joke. Absolutely. That's 100% true. That I think he has the offensive acumen. Look at me using a fancy word to unlock players at their absolute most potential. The other problem in your division is you have a coach that wears purple that can do exactly the same thing Matt LaFleur does. I mean, who had on their bingo card that Sam Darnold was going to come out here slinging it? No one. Nobody did.
Right.
You didn't. You didn't. Nobody did. But Kevin O'Connell and Matt LaFleur are two of the best young offensive minds in this game, and they know how to unlock potential and put players in winning positions. And it's terrific, absolutely terrific.
Yeah, and to see the defense actually step it up a notch for the Packers this last year or this last game was awesome as well.
Mhm.
Um, this, I think getting rid of Preston Smith, was a good thing. Get these young guys a chance to go out there and show what they got, and better suited for Preston was the Steelers, so he's out of the division, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, totally. Oh man, he does have Jefferson, Justin, but it's not just Jefferson. He makes it work with a lot of people, a lot of pieces.
Man, Aaron Jones, yeah, he had the winning touchdown catch, but he had two fumbles
Oh
and a
yeah,
drop pass in the end zone. He
oh yeah.
he was struggling today.
Oh shucks. I guess me and true North Packers fan aren't going to be friends. Oh well. Anyway, so uh, Jefferson is probably the best wide receiver in the business right now. No joke about it. But I just push back against the fact that it's all Jefferson is the reason all the success is happening. Kevin O'Connell is a good coach, and I think he has that team ready to play. Same as Matt LaFleur. He's a good coach, and he has that team ready to play. And to unlock, and that's the big one, unlock their full potential on the field. That's how I see it. But what do I know? I have a Titans hat on. Apparently, when your team stinks, you lose all football knowledge. You don't know anything about nothing.
Well, I mean, watching Lamar Jackson today, he drops back like 15, 20 steps, and he wonders why he can't get a pass off. And when he does, it's like a 2-yard gain.
Yeah,
it's just
it's a mess. He wants to get back because I think he still has it in his brain that he's going to run. He's going to get space and he'll just take off. And that's just not how it works here. And the thing is, and we're going to have to start having this conversation, is Lamar Jackson clutch? Is he clutch? Because there comes these times in games when you absolutely need him to do it. And I can't find him. So
and the thing is, too, with common football 101 is you have a good running game, it opens your passing game. You have a good passing game, it opens your running game.
Correct.
When you can't do one, the other stutters. And when Lamar can't run, he can't pass. Okay, where's Derrick Henry? Let's line him up.
Right. Yeah.
Simple team to call against. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If it's third and short, where do you see the entire defense? They're not buying your pass. They're all up there. Every single one of them are on the line. They're gonna make you throw that ball as quickly as possible. So
I was watching a video of Mac Hollins walking into the game today with no shoes on, and he just scored a touchdown for the Bills. So,
woo!
But no, that was pretty sweet. My brother-in-law won those 4 tickets to the Thanksgiving Day game and Thanksgiving night game, and
good seats.
we were in a suite.
Oh, that's right.
And we were sitting like we got there like right away. So like we were like up in the front row, right by the window, and the window like it had like that plexiglass like up to here. Then the window just opened up, so you could like reach outside.
Yeah.
And just the food, I was like in 6 food comas that day, but
that's Thanksgiving anyway. You know what I mean?
And then before halftime, we walked up under the rooftop and we looked at. I don't know if you can see the picture, but like the whole bowl, we could see the whole stadium and we can look all around Green Bay, and it was fun. Probably one of the funnest games I've been to. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I would love to do something. I've never been in a box or anything like that. I would absolutely love it. Let's see Dustin's next comment. Jackson has 3 years left to succeed with his legs. He's about to fall off the cliff. Dustin, I agree with that, mainly because I had Vince Young as my quarterback. And boy, oh boy, we had this 3-year run, and then everything went to heck in a handbasket.
And Steve McNair.
And Steve had an arm. Don't forget.
He had more of a pocket presence than anything.
Right. Well, he shared the MVP trophy with Peyton Manning a couple of years because he could throw the ball. That's right. The problem is he hand selected Vince Young to take over for him, and the kid was just not it. I hate saying that. When the Imodium doesn't work. The infamous run to the locker room. And they tried to cover that up. It was so silly. We all knew what was going on. We've all done that walk before. You can't fool us, sir. We know. But anyway, yeah, I agree. 3 years to succeed, and eventually, and it's already happened to him a couple of times, a linebacker is going to look at you like you're Thanksgiving Day turkey and just devour you and hit you right behind the knee, and down you go. That's it. You're never the same. So
right. I mean, Michael Vick, he quit running eventually too. It's
right.
Something that you can't do it forever.
I guess, but the Eagles, and he was just chucking the ball around the yard.
Not even that. Well, I mean, I just remember when I was young and I think Vic came into the league like when I was in my early 20s, and we did like drinking games during ESPN broadcasts because every time they say Mike Vick, we took a shot.
Yeah, yeah,
They wouldn't say Michael; they say Mike Vick. You
yeah.
know, but that eventually caught him up to him too, and
Mm-hmm.
but he was a cheat code though in his
He
prime
was.
for
He
sure.
was. Yeah, I agree with you, Dustin. He always had an arm. It's just the whereabout to use it. And what's the difference when he went to Philly? Andy Reid. Andy Reid, the best offensive mind in the business. So he got him to use his arm, and boy, he would chuck that thing. And
I was
he
just
would.
gonna, yeah,
That's true. That's true.
he wasn't running away from any dogs.
Mhm. Oh man, that's funny. No, he certainly wasn't. Hmm.
He put him and P Diddy in the same jail cell.
Who you guys got next? Who you play next?
The Lions Thursday night.
Okay, here we go. All right.
You see
They
the
got
thing
you
about
once.
last year and this year with the Vikings and Lions, we lost to both teams at Lambeau and went into their home and beat them. And that's why I was making a point about the turkey. Like I told my wife after the game Thursday, we're staying until we see Jordan Legg get his turkey leg because he
Mhm.
got robbed of his turkey leg last year in Detroit.
Right.
So they won in Detroit and they won in Minneapolis. So hopefully they can do the same this year. But
It would be nice. I mean, the Lions right now are just a buzzsaw. Teams go in and they just get chewed up, and just absolutely chewed up. Um,
the thing that kills us. I mean, I saw a little bit Thursday night at the game is our defensive line was actually starting to get pressure on Tua.
uh-huh.
I mean, any offense in the NFL, if you can have your quarterback standing upright for more than 4 or 5 seconds, you're going to win the game because
Yeah.
you're going to have guys open.
Yep.
And for the longest time, the Packers, they're paying too much money to have the line not penetrate the offensive line. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. No, I agree. They have figured out the recipe to going after somebody. Is it stunts? Is it whatever else? Whatever it is, it works. But like, I mean, I think the Dolphins, they need to just kind of clean house while they're at it too. How many years, how much money have they spent on all these wide receivers? You're paying way too much to just get hit in the head and disappear for half a season. Um, Seriously, they're a mess down there. I think they need to. I think they're also on the list to clean house.
Yeah. This goes back to like people getting hit in the head. It doesn't really necessarily like fall back at any certain player in Tua's case because his was more like hitting
He's
his head
reckless.
to the
Yeah,
he's being reckless and hitting his head to the
yeah,
ground, correct?
yeah,
And then the Dolphins throwing him back in there. I mean, that's on them.
yeah.
They've got Tua. I mean, that's their mess to deal with 15 years down the road.
Yeah, I
But
also it doesn't help that it doesn't appear that McDaniel's is he seems utterly shocked when anything bad happens to his team, and I'm like, Bud, how many years have you been at this already? Come on.
he's an idiot. That's why
Yeah,
I posted that thing about what was it? They asked him how they're going to deal with the cold or whatever. He said he's going to walk around throwing ice cube jazz players. I mean that's just stupid. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. He's the weird kid in the back of class. That's what he kind of reminds me of.
That he like this like even I was trying to like I was on the Packers sideline up in the boxes or in the suites. So I was trying to take my camera, my phone, and zoom in and look at him. He's sitting there all bundled up, just like sitting there holding his little play sheet, then just sitting there.
Yeah, just sitting there.
Like he's not, and he got on the floor, in a jacket, and he's just out there, walking up and down the field, and it's like McDaniel just didn't seem like he was even in the game, you
Yeah,
know.
it's really cold out here. What
But
kind
I
of
put
fall
on
like?
TikTok, I put that picture of him with the sound, or that when he's sitting there shaking, holding his play sheet or whatever,
Oh.
with the sound of like with the sound of teeth chattering.
Totally.
What we got? 21-3 still.
They just missed a field goal. Yeah. 49ers just missed another one. 55 yards in the snow. Probably not a good idea. Um, Man, oh man. Speaking of somebody that's a downturn, the 49ers have finally had enough of Kyle Shanahan, I suppose. At least the
Yeah,
players.
I wonder what broke him.
Uh, so, from what I understand, from anything I have read and been able to talk to around people around the organization, don't forget that our GM now was the head scout for the 49ers at one point. And what we always heard was Kyle likes to have things his way. My system, my thing. And if you notice about Shanahan, anytime the game is bad or anything up there, he never takes responsibility. It's always the players every single time. And I think, like his father before him, who was just as hard headed, this is my system. It should work. It's not my problem that you are not running it properly. First of all, you don't do good by the locker room by saying throwing your players under the bus. And secondly, I'm sure there's some plays you could have called different or better. That's all. So I see Kyle Shanahan. I see just like his dad, just hard headed, and this is how it should work.
Man, the comments are pouring in this show tonight.
I'm so popular. Who knew?
We're gonna have kept Anders Carlson. Yeah.
Goodness.
We're just a little bit past the halfway point. I was going to ask you who you thought on different awards throughout the NFL, and get your thoughts on it.
Sure.
For me, after seeing the Ravens play today, I did have like Lamar and Henry like atop the MVP, but I think Josh Allen for MVP.
Josh Allen is the MVP. He's on a mission this year. He's playing a lot better than he's ever done. And I really thought, like, honestly, as soon as they lost that home playoff game against the Bengals in their weather, in their stadium, and all of that, that it would be kind of done for them. Well, look at him now. He's out there slinging it with more confidence than ever. His interceptions are down. His touchdowns are up. Remember, he used to be one of those guys that was kind of dead even on interceptions and touchdowns as he went through.
Yep.
That's not the case now. He has finally kind of turned this corner of throwing the ball into a lot of dangerous territory. He's figured it out, and I agree with you. He's MVP 100% as of right now.
Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh, man. It won't be a defensive lineman this year. I haven't heard anybody really sacking a ton of people.
That was a Hendrickson from the Bengals. He was decent. He has decent numbers.
He had decent numbers. Gee whiz. Goodness. Then I can't think of one off the top of my head. Do you have somebody?
I'm gonna go with Xavier McKinney.
Okay, Xavier McKinney. Okay. Oh, let me see here. I don't want to do this wrong. Xavier McKinney. Okay.
He has like 6 picks, a fumble recovery, a sack.
Oh yeah.
He had five games in a row with the interception with the Packers.
Safety, right?
Yep.
Safety. Okay. All right. No, I'm okay with that. But it's definitely. I'm so used to it being a linebacker or a defensive lineman. So if it's a safety or cornerback this year, I'm okay with it. Has more than 6 picks, says Dustin. Look at you guys banging that Packers drum for yourself. It's so great being me.
By the way, thanks hot take for McKinney. We appreciate it.
Oh, why do you torture that poor man? He's a Giants fan. Hasn't he suffered enough, sir? No.
Yeah, I think McKinney only has 6 picks, though, to be honest.
MVP will be Barkley for the storyline, says True North Packers fan. I could be, but I don't think he'll get it.
Oh, he has 7 interceptions. He has 7.
7.
He has 42 solos, no forced fumbles, 7 picks, 9 pass deflections. But he's made an instant impact coming over from New York. You know, he's only 24 years old too.
Are you gonna let Dustin do that to you on your own show, Brian? Just show you
No,
up.
he's going to be on my show. Yeah, he's going to be on my show the
He'll show
22nd.
you up in person.
Yeah,
man.
he's going to be my stat man. That's behind the scenes. He's going to be texting me, and he's going to make me sound smart.
Oh, that's cool. The brain behind the brain, right? I'm not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Look, offensive player of the year. I'm going to go with Derrick Henry.
I will also go with Derrick Henry. Unbiasedly, the guy's he's still churning it out. I can't.
And the thing is, I mean, him and Barkley. I mean, they're like in the same. You know, it's crazy. They keep on showing this, and I think it's awesome to like rub in people's faces, especially like if you're one of the teams that are getting the good end of this deal. You have Henry, Barkley, and Josh Jacobs, the top 3 rushers in the NFL, all are on new teams this year.
Yeah,
crazy.
It's nuts, absolutely nuts. The NFL, mark my words, is gonna. Do you remember seeing that graph of running back value through the NFL?
Yeah,
it goes wide receiver value, and you're about to get a running back value high again. The passing league is going to go away, and it'll be a running back league again. Back to the days.
Well, I mean, look at Josh Jacobs. He had 216, 214. Dustin, stat check for me. Before he got his first receiving touchdown was with the Packers. He had like 214 receptions or whatever it was with Las Vegas with no touchdowns.
Yeah.
And he got his first one in Green Bay. You know, that's just crazy, like the different schemes and stuff they utilize these running backs for in different teams, you know.
Your comment section is funny. Oh. Wow. For all of you watching, Brian's comment section is popping off, as the kids like to say.
Yeah, no cap or cap, whatever. I never got that saying, cap, no cap.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. The children of today, people are cooked now when they're bad. It's just,
Yeah, I got cooked. You know, broke your ankles. I get that. Like my wife works at a high school up here in northeast Wisconsin, and some of the stuff that the kids say and my kids say, and it's just like, what would possess you to even say something like that? You know, just,
yeah, you kind of have to blink and you just let it wash over you for a second, like
just let your fist do the talking for you. You know?
It's crack-a-lackin'. Punch. Stop it.
Yeah. Do you like Bangkok? Or no, what's the capital of Bangkok?
Oh no, Bangladesh.
Who do you have for Rookie of the Year?
Oh boy, I started out with Worthy. I started out with Worthy for the the Chiefs, but because I felt so confident that he was going to play super well, and now I'm just like, okay, never mind. Who do you have?
I had Worthy too.
Okay.
I don't know. Like the Chiefs, they've had some close wins this year, and I don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's hard for MVP. It's like I have Allen and Mahomes at the top because, yeah, as much as a lot of people don't like Mahomes,
mm-hmm.
he wins tight games for his teams, and that's being a valuable player. You know what I'm saying?
Clutch. He's being clutch.
Yeah, it's being clutch. And I don't know, Rookie of the Year, really, I had Worthy.
You're also not hearing about it. It seemed like in seasons past, there was a clear head about who the Rookie of the Year was. There was a clear head.
No. So yeah, this blew my head. This blew my head. But you have Malik Neighbors out there. Mm-hmm. But then again, you have the reason why I had this guy high is because of that Hail Mary against the Bears, Jayden Daniels.
Daniels. I got my ass kicked by him today. He is, as somebody that's watched football my entire life, take that for what you will. Jayden Daniels, man, that guy can play. He can play.
Bo Nix. Bo
Bo
Nix
Nix is a
too.
good one. Bo
He's
Nix
like
caught on
30.
late, though, right? Yeah. Yeah.
He's like a 38-year-old rookie. I swore he played college for like 15
I
years.
know. I remember when he was back at Auburn. I was like, that guy? Really? He's still there? Wow.
Then like
That was
15
Auburn.
years later, he's playing for Oregon. It's like
Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, dude.
But
You
Bo
know,
could be it, but I'm telling you, as somebody, I really like Daniels. I was watching him play today, and I was like, this kid is something else. It's great. What a
you,
great.
you go. I go back to this is a random thought in my head, but watching that Ravens game, they showed a play where it was towards the end of the game when the commentator made like a little shell or a little wall where the Eagles defense is playing like a zone or whatever,
Hmm.
and Lamar could have took off and ran the ball, and he made some stupid pass across that got tipped going to Zay Flowers.
Right.
Why didn't he run the ball there? He could have got at least close to a first down. I just I don't like how he picks and shoot. He's so inconsistent.
Hmm. He is, but I mean, I guess that's one reason people have kind of lost faith in the MVP vote, right? Did he really deserve it the second time? Did he deserve it the first time? It's all these kinds of things, but people will add it to his accolades, even though a lot of people think it's a popularity contest. I can't say neither here nor there, but it seems like Bo Nix has won the comment section. So I'm going to go with Bo Nix, Brian. I'm going to go with
And
Bo.
even no, I'm sorry, going back. I went to the Ravens against Packers. It was the last preseason game for the Packers,
Hmm.
and just like even like I don't know if it's with all NFL teams, but even like after like the national anthem and stuff, like the teams are obviously out there, but then you had like Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry and Zay Flowers, like they all walked out like 10, 15 minutes after the game started out of the locker room. I just think that they just have like a nonchalant,
Yeah, yeah,
you
we're the
can't,
bee's
you can't
knees
touch it.
the thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like we're all better than you.
yeah. We the you rookie, you go ahead out there. I'm going to take my seat on my throne, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think either later that day or the day after, one of their coaches had a heart attack in Green Bay and died or something like that. I think. But comeback player of the year.
Boy, oh boy, it was definitely Flacco last year. Let's see.
I
Who?
was thinking Kirk Cousins, but he's what
I don't
66.
know after today. I was thinking Kirk Cousins too, but man, those 4 interceptions, yikes. um, Geez, is there anybody else that's really just kind of that's come back? Keenan Allen's having a good year despite being on the Bears. Uh,
Baker Mayfield, Jameis Winston.
Baker Baker is a great pick. My goodness, just spent a lot of time
What
thinking.
about Malik Willis for those couple of games he played for the Packers?
I don't want to talk about Malik Willis. Okay. I told you before the interview that we were not going to talk about Malik Willis.
Isn't that crazy though? I mean, Love goes down in the first game, and yes, that was a dirty hit by the Eagles. So I'm gonna stand on that, and
I'll die on that hill.
and with less than a week of preparation, what LaFleur did for Malik Willis, it's crazy to go out and win those 2 games.
Yeah, no, totally. Well, it's nothing to be too proud of. My team's bad, but I'm happy for Malik Willis. They did a good job. Lafleur never really asked him to do anything grandiose. Never really asked him to do anything like if you tell Josh Jacobs like, "Hey, we have to do this right here, and we're going to win the game," no problem. I think they kept Malik Willis out of that thing because that was the big knock on him here was he would make the basic stuff, but he couldn't do anything um, extraordinary per se. But I think they got
Right.
him a nice play sheet that agrees with his acumen. And once again, this goes back to what we've talked about getting the full potential out of players. And it's worked really well for him. So I'm happy for Malik. He was a good guy. I was happy to have him. But, he's found a lot of success with the Packers, and good for him. Good for
And
him.
you know what I don't get is okay. So obviously, with Jordan Love, it's either he has a good arm. He's accurate. He's a dual threat quarterback. He can also run.
Mhm.
So there's 50-50 chance he's going to be a run or a pass. So you bring in Malik Willis, not even not even a week of preparation. So what do you think the Packers are going to do every play? Run the ball.
Ball the ball. Yeah.
Teams couldn't stop the run,
No.
even though they knew it was coming. I mean, Josh
Right.
Jacobs had 136 yards rushing in the first quarter against the Indianapolis Colts. Like they
Yeah.
knew he was going to run it, and they couldn't stop him.
Unlocking the full potential. Another example of it. How Josh Jacobs is not being discussed for this award is baffling to me. He didn't score touchdowns last year, and he was under 1,000. Well, I'm not a voter, Dustin, or I would. I mean, I wish I could, but I like what you're saying. I agree. Josh Jacobs has always been good, uh, but he has a team now that can really get him the best in his yards, the best yards, along with his coach.
And he snatched that turkey tray and ran it back to the locker
Yeah,
room.
yeah, he took off with the tray. They're going to fine you for that, young man. I hope you're ready for it. $10,000 a leg.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, I think we're getting more than what we expected out of Josh Jacobs. I mean, we knew he
sure.
was a good running back, but we didn't know coming into the Packers organization how he'd make that transition, and he's seems to be the right thing to do versus what we're seeing out of Aaron Jones in Minnesota right now. Mike McCarthy for Coach of the Year. And I
Bro,
don't know. We'll have to get Reggie on that one, see what he thinks.
you're
I'm
so
still
mean. You're so mean, true North Packers fan. Who hurt you? Who hurt you?
speaking of coaches, who do you have for Coach of the Year? Was my next question.
Oh boy, this is a loaded one. It's got to be Tomlin. Tomlin keeps finding ways to win the game. He keeps doesn't matter if he's got Justin Fields. It doesn't matter if he's got Russell Wilson. And he's never won it before. Can you believe Mike Tomlin has never won it before? He's never had a losing season. He's always. Mike Tomlin, I think, should definitely win Coach of the Year. He keeps winning. That's all he does.
As a Packers fan, it sucks to see the Bears go through all these coaches because they've done such good things for us Packer fans that you always think the next one might be the one that's gonna get them a victory over Green Bay, but
You never know though because in my division they have the Jaguars and they hired Doug Peterson, and I said, "Oh my gosh, that's a good coach." I really believed it, and then yeah, no, totally. He just keeps winning. He keeps having winning seasons. He's never had a losing season. It's crazy. So, so they hired Doug Peterson, and I was sitting here thinking, "Oh crap!" And they come out, and they were so strong, and oh my gosh, the 49er, oh my gosh, the Bills are going to roll them. They just picked it off again. So so Doug Peterson comes in. They have a good first year, and then he's disappeared off the face of the earth. Uh, the owner of the Jaguars comes out before this year starts. Speaking of things you shouldn't say, and says, "This is the best team we've ever assembled," and they're horrible. They're horrible. And
who goes to a Blossom casting call and gets their quarterback? You
goes to
know,
what?
Blossom, Joey Lawrence.
Oh, that took me a second. I'm with it now. That's very good. That's very good. Yeah, and then they're paying him a crazy amount of money, and I'm just
So
like
who had the big contracts this offseason? Tua,
Tua,
Trevor
Taylor,
Lawrence,
Trevor
and
Lawrence.
Jordan Love.
Yeah.
And who's
Oh,
having the best season out of all of them?
Jordan Love.
Yeah, it's just and who sat behind a starter for 3 or 4 years before they started playing, and who got thrown into the mix right away and expected to have big numbers. You
Jordan Love.
know,
Yeah.
that's why you see a lot of these. I mean, look at what they're doing in Atlanta with. I can't think of the quarterback's name, but they got Penix
Mm-hmm.
sitting behind Kirk Cousins. You know what I'm saying?
Good for that kid.
Maybe they're catching on to what's happening in Green Bay for the last 30 plus years.
Boy, Atlanta can't have another one like today, though. If they do, the Penix chant is going to get really loud. It's going to get really loud.
Don't ring on a heart. He's,
Our words will put him in a concussion. He's so sensitive. Oh
yeah,
man,
I'm surprised you didn't get one at Lambeau on Thursday.
me neither. Boy, it's not even like we joke and everything, but the kid's gonna get himself killed. Like he really is. The way he plays, he's gonna get himself killed, and I hate
Yeah,
that.
he's gonna get carted off in a freaking stretcher with no pulse. You know,
Yeah, yeah, 100%. The way he plays, yes, 100%.
and he doesn't even take the chance to wear a guardian cap.
I just don't. I don't get it. They decided to pay him a lot of money despite everything, and I don't understand. I don't get it because I get that the league now is, hey, find your guy as a quarterback and just build the team around him. It doesn't matter what you have in your mind, what the stereotypical quarterback is. You build your team around him, and blah blah blah. But the end of the day is, as you probably know, you have to throw the ball well to be a quarterback. That's the bottom line. Hands offs are great. Having a team, a running back around you, but at the end of the day, the guy that throws the football the best is the guy that gets to clutch the trophy at the end of the year. That's how it works.
Yeah, and you got the Dolphins who pretty much are living and dying off of Tua, and he's gonna end up dying, and it's gonna be on their hands.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%, 100%. Feel bad for him. I really do.
or or you'll get some situation where you don't hope this never happens, but something like what happened with Junior Seau, you
Yeah.
know,
See,
and
so
then
much damage. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
I hear you.
last question for you, and then I'll let you finish your Chinese and watch
No.
this blowout.
I wish we were a good team. Nom 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 nom.
Who do you have in the Super Bowl, and who do you have winning?
Well, I can't bet against the Chiefs yet because they just keep winning. So I had the Chiefs up there, and right now, I've got the I've either gonna I have Detroit in there at this moment, but that could very well change depending on what happens this Thursday. I mean, we're in December now, right? This is it's game time. These games are going to get really close. It's going to get tight down here at the end. So right now, I have the Lions and Kansas City. Kansas City is only there because nobody can seem to beat them when they need to. So
Yeah, I've got. What about the Bills?
the
The
Bills,
Bills beat me.
yeah, they beat them in the regular season, but they've beaten them in the regular season before, and then they get in the playoffs and everything disappears like a
I'm gonna
vanishes, like a fart in the wind. You know?
I'm gonna pick the Bills for the AFC,
Okay.
and depending on the seeding in the NFC, I always want to hope for the team to knock off the Lions before we gotta get to that matchup. But you never know. With three teams with 9+ wins in the NFC North right now, it's crazy. It's going to be the Vikings, Packers, and Lions all in the. What the hell?
Just in the mix.
Are you taking the field?
I'm
Are you
taking
taking
Kansas
the
City.
field or Kansas City in the playoffs?
I'm taking Kansas City in the playoffs. I need to see them defeated. I understand that the Bills look really great right now, but they've looked really great before and then walked into the playoffs and lost to Kansas City. I'm taking Kansas City. I need for me to believe they're going to lose. I need to see them defeated. That's how it works.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go with the Bills in the AFC,
Brian wants him done. He's done. He's had it with them.
and either the Packers or the Lions for the NFC, and whoever makes it for the NFC, they're gonna win it all.
Oh, woo!
96, the Packers won it. 2010, the Packers won it. So that's 14 years in between. 2010 plus 14 is 2024. So it's the Packers' year this year to win it.
Play the X Files theme.
So that's my prediction. It's going to be Buffalo and the Packers are going to win.
Pull that Packers thing down so I can see all the red string that you've got on a wall. No, just pay attention, man. This is important.
Like numbers.
Yeah. You see how this works. Absolutely.
Well, listen, I appreciate you being on. I know we're kind of all over the board with everything, but that's what makes it
Oh, hey,
fun.
that's how I like
Talk
it.
about random stuff, and
And I'll see you in the draft. I'll see you at the draft next.
yeah, but hopefully I'll have you on before the draft
Oh yeah,
again.
yeah.
But you will
If we
be in
can,
Green Bay. I'll be in Green Bay.
all right.
I can be the Green Bay tour guide for you.
What? Hey, this is a scary looking alley. You're fine, and you just take off.
Yeah. Just tell me like cheese.
I like cheese. Give it to me.
I'll give you a bag of cheese curds for peace offerings.
Just throw it on the ground and run away.
Well, yeah, I'll
I'm a Packers fan. Why are you doing this to me? All I do is love you, and you're in chat just roasting me, man. Roasting me. Somebody hurt
But-
you a long time ago, and I'm paying the price.
but I will have you on before the end of the year. How's that sound?
That works.
And
Hey,
appreciate you
anytime
being on. Before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to Ohana Packers Network or Ohana Packers Edition for giving me the platform to
Mama,
do the podcast.
baby mama, where Montego, as we go.
But yeah, where can people find you at on social media?
They can, well, Brian, since you asked, they can find me at Mr. First Down on Twitter. I'm about to jump from here to do my show, Fanboys Unleashed, here, where you will see weeping and gnashing of teeth from Titans fans that are so tired of this. But I'm going to have to be the one guy that's like, you have to bear with it, guys. It's not, this is just how it is. But come watch us just lose our absolute minds tonight if you would like to. You can also find me on the Let's Talk Sports show that airs Mondays at 8 p.m. Central and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Central. And for all you wrestling fans out there, me and a guy named Alan Perales have a wrestling show Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Central and Fridays at 9:15 p.m. Central. Only on the Let's Talk Sports Network. Pew, pew, pew.
15-yard penalty. You can't do any gun signs on my show.
Cheese!
You can find me at Twitter at cheesetalk_pod. Cheese, the spell with a Z.
Z.
On TikTok, you can find me at Brian_Rago, RAGO.
Spelled as Z.
And on YouTube, you can find me at Cheese Talk Podcast, all one word. Yeah. Other than that, thank you. And
Baby, can't you see?
what's the score? 21-3. God.
It feels like it's going to be like 35.
Yeah, I was hoping for Bills to have more, but yeah, thanks again for being on. I appreciate it, and we'll get you scheduled to be on again. Okay.
Hey, I'm all about it. Can't wait for true North Packers fan to hurt my feelings again.
All right. Thanks, buddy. Have a good night.
Thanks. You too, bud.